Okay, in today's video, we're going to go through the centre bounce from Collingwood versus Sydney last night and try and dissect why Collingwood was so successful. They won +8 out of the centre bounce last night, and the structure, the way they set up, and I think a lot of it also had to do with the fact that they knew Grundy. So, particularly when Pendlebury was in there, when Still Sidebottom was in there, they were able to know his strengths and weaknesses. So let's get into the footage and show you how Collingwood were able to do that successfully last night. So this is the first centre bounce of the game, and what you'll see, and why wouldn't you? They use Nick Dacos a lot. So whether it's wrapping through this way, or whether it's wrapping this way, or whether it's coming around the back and heading towards their goal, the strength, the speed, the ability is, why wouldn't you use him? So the set play in this situation had Jordan on him all night. This situation, and as I slow it up, you'll see that Still Sidebottom is set up as the sweeper. Long played a great game last night, and so what you need to watch here is they Still Sidebottom particularly knows the strength of Grundy, and what Grundy likes to do when whatever way he's facing is where he likes to hit. So as we roll the tape, right, Grundy is faced this way. So Still Sidebottom picks it up pretty early. More of a blocking sweeper, not really receiving sort of role here, because look who's taken off. So the set play here, and this is Darcy Cameron using his right hand. This is perfect position to hit, but it doesn't come off. But I'll show you how they actually identified the set play, because Darcy Cameron's the one that slips over, and then the ability of both Young and Still Sidebottom to be on the preferred side. So as we go, Darcy falls over. This definitely was a set play to hit him in here, but because on the inside, as soon as Grundy wins that tap, they're first to get it. So this is a good set play by Collingwood. So they've got the blocker, Pendlebury as a sweeper, and they have Still Sidebottom as a receiver. When both rucks set up in this position, it's really evident and easy to understand that when they're both going together, because they've got to cross the line and they're facing this way, the hit zone is generally in this position. So the likes of Sherry, Briggs, Meek, they do that a lot. And what generally happens is a lot of the play and a lot of the hits go in this section. The likes of Meek, also Briggs does it. He's starting to do it a lot now. Opposition pick up on that, so they have the ability to then hit it back. But in this situation, it's a great tap by Darcy Cameron. He uses Pendlebury. So Pendlebury comes on this line. Being a left footer and Collingwood going left to screen, it's a wonderful tap. So as we go through, you can see that Long has got on the right side. So he's pushing his defender this way, and it's a great set play because they know the running pattern of Pendlebury is to come through this way. So it's a great set play. Still Sidebottom was trying his best, but I think Heaney picked up on where the running pattern was going to happen. The thing I loved about Collingwood's centre bounce last night is they had movement. There was always movement, and it was the timing of when they did the movement, especially when the ball is in the air, bounce, thrown up, whatever it is. That's when the movement happens. There's another clip I'll show you where Pendlebury starts in one position and ends up in another as a sweeper, and he ends up getting the ball. So this running pattern is really good. It puts the opposition on their toes, and they don't know what's coming. The variety in centre bounces is really important. As you see here, look, straight through, steel-sided bottoms coming to support. So it's a great running pattern to start in this area. The opposition think that you're going to run those, basically the tram lines as we call it. But when you cross in different areas, that's when you provide the unpredictability, and that's when you're also the timing of when you do that, especially when the ball is in the air. So now both rucks are on this side. So where are they facing? This way. So in this situation, as we explained in the last clip, majority of the hits are going to be in this area. That's why these players are set up in this space. There is no one in this dead area. That's a no-go zone there, right? So that's why they've set up this way. This is the running pattern that Nick Dacos loves to take, and they use this a lot. When he starts here, it's almost like that's a trigger point for him to come this way. Sometimes he'll fake and go this way, and Darcy Cameron has the ability to hit that. That's a great tap. So just really love Long's effort last night, especially against someone like Rowbottom. So as it plays out, you've got Nick Dacos on Warner, and you've got Long here on Rowbottom. But you could see this was a set play. Definitely a set play. The only criticism you would have here is maybe if you could put Long on there to push Rowbottom that way. But as it turns out, hitting it back when these two guys are in, I guess, the favoured spot of where the ball bounces works in their favour. So it gets hit back, Long. Look at the Collingwood players set up. So they're in a good position to actually handball receive. So this, once again, you got Nick Dacos starting in this position. So this is always, I feel, is a giveaway for this running pattern. When he starts out here or out this position, he's generally coming towards the ball in this running pattern, which then Darcy just drops it, depending on obviously which way they're going. But in this situation, and whether he starts here, he crosses the line. So they like to have the anchor point in this situation. So then any movement through here, he has a free license to move. So the ball comes in. Look at him going there. So this is that running pattern, as we explained. But wonderful effort here from Long to get the ball and get the clearance. There we go. And in this last one, once again, both rucks are on. Feel like there's an imaginary line. So if the rucks are on this side and they're facing this way, the hit zone's on that side. Imaginary line. The rucks are on this side of the line, facing this way. Where are the mids? They're over on this side. I love the work rate here of Pendlebury. There's a lot of movement. So he tries to go and do the block for Dacos. It doesn't come off. But because he's working so hard, works across, stays involved, he ends up receiving the ball here. So you can see the ball's in the air now. He's trying to put the block on. Great work by the Swans player here to negate that. But because Dacos has gone through, the ball has come, and Pendlebury's tried to do the block, he actually is the one that ends up receiving the ball. And there we go, and spills out. So it was a great effort by Collingwood last night to have their structure, and more importantly, have movement. So when they have movement, and it's the timing of the movement, it adds that extra layer of unpredictability. So when the opposition go into the next centre bounce. They don't know what's coming. They don't know where the player's going to go. They don't know what's going to happen. They don't know what kind of block's going to unfold. And more importantly, they don't know where Darcy's going to hit it, whether he's going to hit it forward, whether he's going to drop it short, or whether he's going to drop it back behind. So it was really well orchestrated last night by Collingwood. That's why they end up winning +8 out of the centre bounces and essentially scoreboard pressure and dominating the game.